Thank you for joining us today for our informational session for our mock bidding, focusing on the new PBS property double up by date range. We are your APFA Contract Implementation Committee. Thank you guys for being here. We have Kelly Hagan based in New York. We have Wendy Oswald based in LA. I am Mike Sosa based in Dallas. And facilitating this informational session will be Hunter Meredith based in Philadelphia.
All right, so welcome everyone. We really wanted to just kind of give a brief overview of what the new property is and how to get into the mock bid. As I'm sure you know, we did the mock bid for the reserve property that we added a few months back, and participation was pretty low. So we're hoping that we can get this information out there and get more participation in this mock bid. We had a hotline go out today that had information on how to access the mock bid environment, but you can see the URL at the top of my screen. It's fapbs-apfa.aa.com/AOSPBS2. The easy way to get there, if you need a direct flight attendant to get there, is when they go to monthly bids and when they go to PBS, it'll take them to the normal PBS screen. And if they click up here into their URL, they can just add -APFA, and that will take them to the mock bid environment. So that's how I would direct someone to get here, since a lot of people don't memorize URLs like I do. So you see the open date is now open. It is going to close on January 19th at noon. This is not going to have the normal award process where the PBS admins actually go in and refine the award to make sure that there are no illegal lines or people who got less than 40 hours or anything funky like that. So that's why they're going to be able to post the award within 24 hours. It should be there on the 20th by noon. The property is under the line tab. When you click the plus for the properties, where you have allow double up on date, you now have allow double up by range. The difference is that double up on date, which we've had since implementation of PBS back in 2018, that lets you just pick a specific day that you want to double up on. Double up by range allows you to select a range of dates. So if you wanted to double up for the entire month, you can click the 31st to the 28th. And this is telling PBS that as you're awarding me, I am okay doubling up on any day of the month. You don't have to go through and click every single day like you had to previously. The contract that in the CBA, the property allowed a generic double up option. And during programming, we thought that this would allow a little bit more flexibility for flight attendants, since I might not want to double up the entire month. I might want to say I'm okay doubling up just the first week of the month, or I want to double up the first week of the month, add this, and then I can come back and say I also want to double up the last week of the month. So that would be a way to use this property and not double up the entire month. You can do the first week, the last week, any combination, a lot more flexibility, and we definitely appreciate our flexibility. When you are bidding this, it's not going to force double ups. So during mock bidding, when we were testing, it's really hard to kind of get a double up on purpose. You have to be really particular about it. And that's partly why we want to have as many people participate in this mock bid as we can get. We want to make sure the property is working the way that we intend for it to work before it goes live. And we also want to make sure it doesn't have a huge impact on the runtime for the award process. We don't anticipate it having a large impact, but there was some concern. So as many people as we can get to participate in this is definitely going to help us. What else was on the list?
Just a reminder, Hunter, when does this close?
On the 19th at noon.
Okay, and does this affect your real PBS award in any way?
This has no effect on your real PBS award. That's kind of another way to incentivize flight attendants to get in here. Even if they're not testing this property, they can test any weird stuff that they've been curious to try, or any kind of bid they want to see how it would work, because you're not actually going to fly this line.
Perfect, thank you. One more question. When will awards be posted and where?
On the 20th at noon, you will see the award under the award tab. They're going to have a special mock bid support tab. So if you have any questions on your award, you can go to the normal links in Crew Portal under support, go to support tab, and there will be a line holder mock. Since this is just for line holders, you can bid reserve, but you won't get an award. So if you are a reserve on your dashboard, you unfortunately will not be getting an award in this system to see what happens.
All right, opening it up to any other questions from the people in the room and the people online. Fire away at Hunter. All right.
Okay, I got a question for you. If you can kind of go through, I would like to see you kind of walk us through, and I'm gonna tell you what I want. Just so we can kind of get an idea, okay?
Sure.
Okay, and we'll use your seniority, right? And you're in Philly.
Yes.
Right? That's even better. Okay, I want every Saturday and Sunday off.
Okay.
And I want to double up during the week, basically. And I want 2-day trips.
Okay, you want to double up during the week.
So every week.
Okay.
Let me see if I can see that.
So since I've already asked for Saturday and Sundays off, I'm gonna go ahead and let it double up for the entire month. Oopsies. Come on first.
Okay, wait, let's change that then, since, because I don't want to make it that easy on you.
Okay. I
So
think you meant the second and fourth week of the month.
I'm gonna be the low time flyer.
Okay.
And I want to double up exactly what Mike said. He must know what I'm thinking about next month. I want to double up the week of the 9th
Okay,
and the week of the 23rd.
week of the 9th, so I will add that. And then I'll come back and add in the week of the 23rd.
And let me think about that 2-day. Now I'm changing my mind, I'm like, I am a flight attendant, so we're allowed to change our minds, right? Okay, let me look. Okay, great. You got that.
And you said 2 days?
No, I'm thinking I want to do IPD.
You want to do IPD?
Yeah.
Okay. So where is my preferred pairing type? 3R.
Okay, and then I want to put in my target credit range, right? Because I want to
Okay.
make sure I kind of get the amount of hours. Let me think. Let's say I'm around. So I'm going to say,
Can you double up on an IPD?
It'll be very hard to double up on an IPD.
can we try?
We can try. We can see what's legal.
So, so I also want 55 to 65 hours.
Just doing this in our layer 1 bid right now. Okay, so since we're looking at doing IPD, you probably want to waive some stuff because it's going to be hard to hold that without waiving. So I'm going to go ahead and waive your 30 and 7. And I'm also going to waive your 24-hour rest and domicile.
Yeah.
Just because 2 IPDs back to back would be hard to do without that. So coming to layer, you're bidding 981 positions in your layer 1. We definitely know doubling up Doha is not going to be legal. Maybe Lisbon.
I don't know though, actually, my duty days, what are the duty days here?
Oh no, your Lisbon duty day, 9:45 coming home. And then 8:15
would not
going.
work.
That's going to be too high.
That's too long.
That's our lowest in Philly.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that.
Dublin.
Hunter, I think Dublin.
So look at Dublin and see what the duty is. The duty day would be.
8 hours going, 9:10. That's still too high, 17:10.
So let's change it to NIPD.
NIPD?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do an IPD with a domestic or an
Yeah.
IPD or vice versa,
Right.
possibly.
Yeah, you could do ODAN and then waive the 24 hours.
An ODAN?
Dance too high.
Go down would be too high.
Really quickly, everybody
Yeah.
have a question in the chat.
Oh, I didn't mean double up, but you could come in that.
Sequence.
Yes, that's what I was thinking,
We have a
so.
question in the chat for Hunter Meredith. Does there have to be a 5-hour difference between minimum and maximum hours in TCR? Or can I bid, for example, 80 hours minimum and 80 hours maximum?
So you don't have to input a 5-hour, but it's gonna do it whether or not you ask for it. So like if you did, I want an 80-hour min, 81-hour max, it's actually gonna say 80 to 85 because the system only reads 5-hour increments, minimum. So if you put in 80 and 80, it's not gonna give you 80 on the nose. It's gonna go ahead and look at 80 to 85. So you should go ahead. I recommend putting 80 to 85 because I'd rather see what the system is actually doing, so that no one's surprised.
Okay.
Okay, so, now in layer 2,
Mhm.
with this property, okay, if I don't get this in layer 1, walk me through layer 2.
So layer 2, even though you haven't bid it again, this is a persistent property. Double up kind of acts like a waiver. And once you waive something, you can't unwaive it later. So even though in layer 1, you said February 9th to the 13th, that's actually going to be layers 1 through 7 that you're allowing a double up.
And Hunter, along that lines, you have more persistent bids in here too, right?
Yeah,
Yep, the waive 24 hours in domicile and the waive 30 hours are also persistent.
so if I don't get this in layer 1, and let's say layer 2, I have to be thinking that this is a persistent property now. I should probably adjust my pairings, right? And maybe not NIPD, but like either domestic or NIPD and domestic, right? I've got to start thinking about if I don't hold this in layer 1, what my layer 2 would look like with that property already there, right?
Right. Yeah, because if you're
What
saying,
would you suggest? I'm gonna make you work here today.
I mean, usually it really depends on what you want, because if you're doing double ups, normally what I've seen work easiest if you want to do double ups is going back in and including red eyes, since red eyes aren't included in the default pairing pool, going back in and adding those and then doing either NIP or domestic with those, because those are really what ends up being legal, because you land at 6 a.m. and you can go right back out on an 8 a.m. departure.
That might not work for me. I'm too old for that at this point. But if you could come up with my second layer bid, other than red eyes, because
I have an idea. What about doubling up domestic 3 days, 1 2 1s?
1 2 1s.
Yes.
Okay, let's go look at that.
Or 2 days, 1 1s. That sounds like it's got my name on
You
it.
like your 1 1 2 days. Okay, so I'm gonna put pairing length 2. And where is my maximum landing per duty? You want 1 1s.
Mhm.
All right, let's go see what that did. So that is 661 positions in layer 2.
Yeah, that's good.
Look, my
I'll hold something there, I hope, right? Okay, how about anybody else? I think, is this helpful for those of you online? I think it's good to kind of walk through actually bidding it and different options. I like what you said, though, if I put my weekends off and I don't care about the rest of the month,
Mhm.
right? That I could just put this date range in for the entire month and then just specify what I'm looking for, because I might actually get more what I'm looking for in that respect.
forgot your weekends in layer 2. I
Yeah.
had them.
Any more questions on people on the phone? Oh, we have a question in the chat from Paul. Can you show Mike's example of bidding 1 2 1 3 days double ups?
1 2 1 3 days.
Yes.
Why didn't you wipe out my bid? And do
Let's
a
have a
new
layer
bid?
3.
What?
Let's have a layer 3.
You could do that, but if that's your first choice,
Okay.
you know,
Go ahead and take out this.
Paul, do you care about weekends off? No.
Okay, when weekends off.
No, I just think that I think that this is going to be really helpful, speaking for Philadelphia, on the 2-day double ups and the 3-day double ups, because they use that a lot. So I think this is really going to be great.
So if I do prefer one landing on the last duty, and then I do prefer one landing on the first duty, because that's going to be my duty period 1 and my duty period 3.
That's good.
And then maximum landing per duty, I want no more than 2. Since I already told it to restrict 1 on the first and 1 on the last, this is telling it no more than 2 on the second, because you'd be fine with the 1-1-1, I
Yeah.
assume.
Oh, 100%.
And is that supposed to be in layer 2 or layer 1?
It's supposed to be on layer 1, you're right. All right. Oh, wow, we have a lot of trips that do that in
And then-
Philly. Oh, because they're IPD. I'm gonna tell it to only look at domestic because I know I'm not gonna hold Doha.
And then did you put the date range in for him already?
I still have your last one.
Okay.
So I can go change that because I want to see what the pairings look like.
All right.
All right, 575 looks more real. You should not be there. Per pairing type regular. Did it not refresh yet?
You're in layer 2.
Thank you. I was wondering, I was like, no.
This makes me want to go work on PBS again. I love this.
All right, let's see. This Fort Myers comes back at 9:46. Oh, that's such a good one. Because really, like, if you're not being picky about it,
Yeah.
This is a good
bless
proposition.
you. I would think, like, for myself on the line, if I were doing this, I would probably come into line holder days off and just do maximize days, total days off. Because that's just gonna tell it, give me, yeah, push my trips together. So this might be actually how I leave my bid for layer 1 and the mock. I think I'm gonna adjust the allowed double up to be every day of the month. Because I really want to see a double up get awarded.
Hunter, we have a question in the chat from LaGuardia-based President Christian Santana. Does this property allow for IPD back-to-back flying?
If your base has any, that would be legal. A maximum double up duty day has to be 14 hours scheduled. So there's not really, in Philly, we looked, none of our Philly pairings are good. The shortest New York had when I was there was London. You guys don't have Edinburgh back yet until the 321 XLR gets there, I
It'd have to
think.
be like a really, maybe a 6-hour flying, right, time?
It'd have to be really short to fit into that 14-hour.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if I'm specific bidding and I want double ups, do I need to use this property?
Yes. Because when you're specific bidding, you're just telling it specifically which pairing you want. You aren't telling the system specifically how you want your line built.
So
So you
if I
still have to
want
allow it.
to specific bid and say, and try
Mhm.
to hold these specific pairings and it would be a double up, I need to also include this as a line property.
Yes, because even when you're specific bidding pairings, you still need to use your line properties.
Thank you.
Not just wave.
Is anybody here? Any other questions in the chat? Any other questions in the room?
Anything else anybody wants to see Hunter do as far as bidding is concerned?
You have an expert right here.
Yeah, this is good. I like you walking it through like that for me. It's helpful to kind of see it, right, and putting it together.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we've really done any of the PBS, God, the classes were back in 2018.
Yeah,
The PBS or the WBT is still there if anyone ever wants to go back
Yeah.
into it.
but this is actually, I think for what you're gonna put out, for the members, if you can mock bid, come up with a few good mock bids, it's gonna be interesting to see what we see.
Yep.
When I say if you can mock bid, if you can go in and say, this is what I'm trying to achieve, right?
And like we said, we really, really want to get as many people in here as we can. So when you run into flight attendants in the crew rooms, or just out in the terminals, remind them that mock bidding's open and get as many people in there as you can.
Even can we, I know we put the hotline out, but maybe we could you guys do like a base brief? And if any of the bases want to send it out, let them send it out just to remind people. And just come up with a little spiel that they can put out. Because sometimes, a lot of times, they pay more attention to the base brief than they do the hotline.
And social media.
Yeah, and social media. But just the link alone, right? With a really small little something, we'll get more participation. How many months of mock bidding do we have? Just one? Or,
Hopefully just one, because that would mean everything went as expected.
okay,
We didn't put in our hotline, we didn't put the anticipated go live just because of what happened with the reserve property. We did identify some issues with that mock bid. Hopefully we'll be able to have this property live in February for the March bid month, but we'll see.
We did a very small mock bid last month. It was Kick and I think a couple of other reps, but not, it was very small. So we didn't identify any issues. So hopefully we can get more people in it. So if there are any issues, they would be more easily identifiable.
more people that use it this month, the
Yeah.
better it will be. You'd
Yes.
rather have the issues now than later, after it's live.
Yes, and especially because the next one is going to be preferred positions by aircraft. And that one, we really want to make sure we see the effect on the run times.
Yeah.
Because when it goes live, we don't want any surprises.
All right, everybody. So that wraps up the mock bidding portion of this. Thank you guys so much for joining us.